Shalom, Maspuka. I hope everyone is doing well today. This message, Yahuah is saying to us, make ready for the battle. Before I begin, I don't know how many parts this is going to be. Will be lengthy. I'm not even finished figuring out how I'm going to put it together. But it will be lengthy. I'm going to take my time. This is a very important message. This is something that you must have. It's something the Most High want us to know. Our enemy has done a job on us. He's really done a number on us. Don't get me wrong. We were once powerful, mighty. We were warriors, and we sinned. And because of the iniquity, because of breaking the law, we became wimps. We went from being warriors to being wimps. Yes, today Yasharal is a wimp. You could do a message and show how we are wimps, how we are ignorant, how we are fighting each other. And it's because of the number that the enemy has done on us. He used his religion, Christianity. It made us wimps. It had us talking about a spiritual fight and a spiritual warfare. But once again, I've been trying for the longest, and some of you are getting it. Some of you are getting it, that this spiritual thing, it caused us to become wimps. Our people fought real wars. You can't find anywhere where it was a spiritual war. And so this made us wimps. They taught us, if I strike you on the cheek, turn to the other cheek. You see, they put this stuff in there to make us wimps, and they wanted us to be wimps. Now, the question is, Yahuah is saying, make ready for the battle. The question is, when is the battle? Now, this is something that our people, we don't understand this. But after you receive this, you're going to see from the scripture what it's saying. And it's been here all the time. We just don't have anyone to put this together for us. And it's amazing how we can't go into the scripture and find these things out and bring it out to the people and then let the people decide which war they're going to be a part of. Right now, I hate to say it, I just saw a couple of days ago camps teaching their people, what are they going to do for this battle? Are you ready for the battle that's coming? They're talking about the war that the enemy is going to make with the righteous. He's talking about Jacob's trouble, and they don't have an answer. And this is not the battle the Most High is telling us. The enemy is going to make, according to what the scriptures say, the enemy, and I've been over those scriptures, I'm not going back over them. The enemy is going to make war with the righteous and overcome them and kill them. This is what's coming. But for those that's within his borders, that's why you notice I'm showing here the messages. And here was the first message, the separation. The people had to be separated. And once the separation took place, the people will end up within his borders. And then the next message the Most High gave us, there will be a meeting at the mountains. Why? Why did our people meet at the mountains? The first time coming out of Egypt. He's going to put order within the borders and make Yasharal one again. Do you see how these messages are connecting? To make Yasharal one again. Why is we doing this? There's a reason why. And once he makes Yasharal one again, he's telling Yasharal, make ready for the battle. And this battle we're going to see all through scripture. All through the scriptures. It's talking about this battle. All right. Let's go and see the first scripture. 2 Ezra 16, 16 and 40. Oh, my people. And I brought this out before. Hear my word. Make ready for the battle. And those evil even be as pilgrims upon the earth. And I'm not going back over this. If you don't know what a pilgrim is, look it up. I brought it out already. But he's telling us, see, if you are steady, if you are in a comfortable place, if you are where your family is residing, you're not doing what the scripture is saying. You're not being a pilgrim on the earth. Pilgrims move. And this is what he's telling us. Move. You have to be on the move. Next scripture, Zechariah 9, and I'm going to read 11 through 17. It says, as for you also, because of the blood of your covenant, I will set your prisoners free from the waterless pit. Return to the stronghold. Where is the stronghold? You see, we don't understand the stronghold. The stronghold, he's saying return. We always have something to return to. The stronghold is within his borders. This is where the people will become strong again. He says, you prisoners of hope. So right, see, he's calling us prisoners of hope. He says, even today I declare that I will restore double to you. We've lost so much. It's restoration. Restoration, we have to be restored. As I said, we were warriors. In order for us to go back to be warriors, we must be restored many, many things. He says, for I have bit Yahuah. Pay attention. I have bit Yahuah. He's bit Yahuah. He's calling Yahuah my bow. This is very important. Yahuah is considered as a weapon. Yahuah, and we're going to see this. We're going to take a little trip down memory lane. We're going to see the power and the might of Yahuah and what power he possessed. And he's calling him my bow, fitted. The bow with Ephraim, the two that was separated. Remember the two becoming one? You wonder why, wonder why we had to become one. We can't fight this fight alone. We need each other. Again, we've been fighting against each other. And this is part of him restoring us and putting us back together as one and come together with strength, power, and might and fight as one. He says, and raise up the sons of Zion against your sons, O Greece. And that's another point here. We're going to see who the enemy is, who we are, and who the enemy is. Because we don't know who is the enemy. We have no idea. Right now, there's a false teaching going out that's saying Ishmael is Edom. This is false. And we're going to see it. Against your sons, O Greece. So here we have the sons of Zion against the sons of Greece. Remember this. Connect all these scriptures together and see, do we find Ishmael? And made you like the sword of a mighty man. See, we were mighty men. Mighty for what? Mighty for battle. We were mighty for battle. And we became nowadays weak. Weak as water. He says, then Yahuah will be seen over them, and his arrows will go forth like lightning. And Yahuah will blow the trumpet and go with whirlwinds from the south. Yahuah of hosts will defend them. Now, when we did what we supposed to do, he always go before us during the times of battle. So yes, he will go before the people and defend them. They shall devour and subdue with sling stones. These are weapons. These are stones. Look this stuff up in the armory. This is real weapon. This is not a spiritual weapon. They shall drink and roar as if with wine. They shall be filled with blood, like basins, like the corner of the altar. There was real blood on the altar. Yahuah their Elua will save them in that day. This is the day of battle. As the flock of his people, for they shall be the jewels of a crown, lifted like a banner over his land. Lifted like a banner over his land. Make sure we understand this. This battle takes place in his land. For how great is this? It says goodness, and how great is beauty. Grain shall make the young men thrive, and new wine the young women. Zechariah 10 and 5. They shall be like mighty men. Once again, Yasharal will have to become like mighty men as of times old, as in times past. Why? Why shall we be like mighty men who tread down their enemies? Because they're going to tread down their enemies in the mire of the streets, in the battle, in the fight. Remember, he's telling us, make ready for this battle, this fight. He's been telling us all through scripture. We haven't gotten it. We're not talking about it. We don't get it. They shall fight. They shall fight. Is this a spiritual fight? No. They shall fight because Yahuah is with them. And the riders on horses shall be put to shame. All those that's against this group, they will be put to shame. Why? Because Yahuah is with the righteous. Psalms 24:8. Who is this King of splendor? Yahuah, strong and mighty. We need to understand when he go before the people is strong and mighty because of Yahuah with them, strong and mighty. Yahuah, mighty in battle. Psalms 18:39. For you have armed me with strength for battle. He's going to arm Yasharal with strength for the battle. You have subdued under me those who rose up against me. Now understand, we're going to know when order is placed back within the border. Let me tell you this. There's a training process will happen. The training has already started. The Most High have shown me this training. The training has already started. And he's using his Malak to train Yasharal. He's using the Malak to train Yasharal. Ask the Most High about this. If he haven't begun to train you, if you haven't started receiving training, you're not going to be in this battle. So you need to ask him, show me this. I want to see this training. And he will show it to you. He has already started. You said, but we're not in the wilderness. No, we're not in the wilderness yet. But he has a way of dealing with his people where they are at, especially the ones that's within his borders. We will experience things those on the outside are not experiencing. Why? According to scripture, the Malaks operate within his borders, within his land. And this is where the concentration, this is where the focus and the concentration happens. Psalms 140:7. O Yahuah, the strength of my salvation, you have covered my head in the day of battle. You see, he's our shield. He covers us. Even in the wilderness, he surrounds us with a wall of fire for our protection. He protects his people, and he's not playing with those that's messing with his people. The playtime will be over when Yasharal become one in the wilderness. This is when we will see things of proportions that we've never seen since we've been here on earth. Jeremiah 46:3-4. He says, order the buckler and shield. Listen at this. Order. These are weapons. Real weapons. This is not no spiritual shield. This spiritual armor. This is not no spiritual armor. He's saying order the buckler and shield. Get these weapons ready. Why? And draw near to battle. Please make sure that you pray over this. You fast over this. You ask the Most High about this. He says, draw near to battle. Harness the horse and mount up, you horsemen. Stand forth with your helmets. Polish the spears. Put on the armor. This is a real armor ready for a real battle. This is not a spiritual fight. It never was a spiritual fight. That was just to make us weak. We don't see any of our forefathers fighting this spiritual fight. This is Jasher 8:4. And they said to each other, this only betokens the child that has been born to Terah. Okay, this is when Abraham, our forefather, was born. They knew that he was going to be mighty, him and his seed. And this is the point that's coming out right here in scripture. So we see our father Abraham born to Terah this night, who will grow up, watch this, who will grow up and be fruitful and multiply and possess all the earth, he and his children forever. So they knew this before. Listen, they knew this when he was born, what would happen. And he and his seed will slay great kings and inherit their lands, will slay great kings, will kill great kings, a physical fight, and inherit their lands and take their lands. Why? Because they are somewhere where they are not supposed to be. So make sure we understand that this is the seed. We are the seed of Abraham, and it's saying to us, we should be slaying great kings and inheriting their lands. Do you see any of Yasharal doing this today? No. Why? Because we were taken down because of our iniquity and we had become wimps. This is the purpose. This is one of the purposes of going into the wilderness, when order will be restored. Deuteronomy 20:3. If you study Torah, we should know this, but we just haven't put it together. And he shall say to them, hear, O Yasharal. This is when it was time for battle. This is what they had to do. Today you are on the verge of battle with your enemies. Remember, we should always, if we're doing righteousness, we should battle our enemies only. Now, if you do something, and we're going to see this in scripture, if you do something you have no business doing, you become an enemy to the Most High. You become an enemy to Yasharal, and you will be dealt with just like an enemy. They're called rebels, and rebels get killed. We're going to see that. Do not let your heart faint. Do not be afraid, and do not tremble or be terrified because of them. So they always prayed. They got with the Most High. They made sure everything is in order before they went into battle. And the Most High, when they did what they're supposed to do, the Most High always go before them when they fight. All right. 2 Maccabees 10:26. This is falling upon the steps before the altar. Okay. They besought him to be favorable. Now this is what they did before battle. Watch this. They went before him and they besought him that he be an enemy to their enemies. You see, this is what the statement I was just making. They knew and they needed him to be an enemy to their enemies. And this is what we should be praying today, that Yahuah be an enemy to our enemies. But we must be in position. We must be in the birth canal. We must be where we're supposed to be. He's not going to be an enemy to our enemies when we haven't listened to what he's commanded us to do. It says, and an adversary to their adversary, as Torah declares. We want him to be an adversary to our adversary. 2 Maccabees 13:14. It says, so committing the decisions to the creator of the world and exhorting his men to fight nobly. This is what they did. And this is what he proclaimed to them. And he told them, make sure you understand, when we go into fight, when we go into battle, we fight nobly to the death. Why? For the Torah, for the house of the Most High, for the city of Jerusalem, for the country of Yasharal and commonwealth. He pitched his camp near Modin. So we see here they will fight to their death. Our people, here are the warriors fighting until death for the Torah, for the house of the Most High, for the city of Yasharal, for Yasharal. We're fighting for our family. Why? We are one. They knew we are one. And if one turns, then that one become an enemy, and we have to deal with that one. You don't want to become an enemy to Yasharal. We have enough enemies. Let me say that again. You don't want to become an enemy to Yasharal. We have enough enemies, and we're going to see our enemies. Why side with the enemies? It makes no sense. Ezekiel 25, 12 through 14. Thus says Yahuah. Here comes the enemy. Thus says Yahuah, because of what Edom did against the house of Yehudah by taking vengeance. All right, for the people that say Ishmael. Ishmael is the one that took us to the Americas, that took us to North and South America and the islands along the coast of North and South America. They the ones took the people. This is who done this. Because this is who Edom is. Edom did against the house of Yehudah by taking vengeance, and has greatly offended by avenging itself on them. Therefore, thus says Yahuah. He says, I will also stretch out my hand against Edom. Here is our enemy. He's going to stretch out his hand against Edom and cut off man and beast from it and make it desolate. He's going to make Edom's land desolate. From Temim, Dedan shall fall by the sword, and will lay my vengeance upon Edom. He's going to lay his vengeance upon Edom by who? By the hand of my people Yasharal. Now we see how he's going to cause this vengeance to come upon Edom by the hand of my people Yasharal, a physical battle that he has told us to be prepared for, to make ready for, because it is coming. And that brings me, it brings me to a point, and I should have said this on the last video. I'm going to go into this battle, and I'm going to show you, we're going to go into this battle in details, and it's going to connect some things into the scriptures that you've never saw before. But we must go into this battle in detail, and this battle is laid out in the Dead Sea Scrolls. We will go into it. I haven't figured out exactly how I'm going to do it, but we will get it done. He says he's going to lay vengeance on Edom by the hand of Yasharal, that they may do in Edom according to my anger, according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, says Yahuah. He means business. Remember, he uses his people to carry out his plan. This is a part we don't understand. He used his people to carry out his plan. Our people that's fleeing Babylon and needs help. When you help them, you are helping Yahuah and his plan. And he will count it to you as righteousness. And you will find his favor upon you. Zechariah 14. Okay, I'm going to begin at the first verse. Behold, the day of Yahuah is coming. And we know this scripture here. The day is coming, and your spoil will be divided in your midst. For I will gather all nations to battle against Jerusalem. The city shall be taken, the houses rifled, and the women ravished. Half of the city shall go into captivity, but the remnant of the people shall not be cut off from the city. Showing us this coming battle, showing us this fight that's coming. Then Yahuah will go forth and fight against those nations. These nations are people. I think we understand this. And this is not a spiritual battle. Nowhere we're finding a spiritual battle. This is a real battle. As he fights in the day of battle. You see, when Yasharal went into battle, Yahuah went into battle. He went before the people. And we're going to see, it doesn't care what the enemy's firepower is. It doesn't matter what the enemy has. Listen, the enemy can have more weapons than the righteous, and the Most High going to fight for the righteous, and the righteous will come out on top. It always happened in Scripture. And they knew something we don't know today. We have no understanding of today. It says, in that day, his feet will stand on the Mount of Olives, which faces Jerusalem on the east. And the Mount of Olives shall be split in two, from east to west. Our Shabbat class that we just had, when we was going over the scriptures in Ezekiel, and it's talking about, when we was going over the land and how it's measured from east to west, and we kept reading it over and over, from east to west. And one of my children, I don't remember which one, they say some of the most profound things because Yahuah is working with them. They said east to west, just like the Aubrey writing goes from right to left. This is going from east, which is on the right, to the west, which is on the left. This is how he operates. And they made a absolutely, it's amazing they made that connection. I didn't see it. Make a very large valley. Half of the mountain shall move forward the north, and half of it toward the south. Then you shall flee through my mountain valley. For the mountain valley shall reach to Azal. Yes, you shall flee, as you fled from the earthquake, as in the days of Uzziah, king of Yehudah. Thus is Yahuah my Elohim will come, and all the righteous with you. The righteous will be with him. This day of battle, the righteous will be with him. When Yahushua comes, the righteous will be with him. We're going to see him leading the righteous out of the wilderness, and the righteous will be with him in the day of battle to fight, not to watch, to fight. And we're going to see this. Isaiah 13:4. This is going to be longer than I thought. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like that of many people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. Here is the kingdoms and the nations gathered together. Yahuah of hosts musters the army for battle. All these nations are being gathered together for this battle. When we finish this message, you're going to see how far away our people are being ready for this battle. Our people are just going to fall by the wayside. And I told you, this message is going to leave some of those behind. They're not going to understand this. They're not going to know what's going on. This is a deep message. It's thick. It's been in the scriptures all along. It's a hard pill to swallow. You mean we have to fight? I thought Yahuah has done it all, and we don't have to do anything. You see that mindset? You see that mentality? He's done it all. We don't have anything to do. He will get no splendor if we take out the enemies. What ignorant speech. What ignorant talk. You talk about malignant words. That's malignant words against the Most High Scripture. These are people that's teaching, and they're not connected with the Most High. And this is a danger. It's a danger for our people because our people is following this mess. Now we're going to go into the book of Joshua. We're about to take a history lesson here. And this is the trip. We need to take a trip down memory lane. We need to see some of the things our people did. We need to understand the strength, the power, and the might Yasharal possess. Because we just read it in scripture, but we need to see it. We need to understand the power and the might that we had and some of the things that we did. This is Joshua 54, 4 through 8. And this is dealing with Yehudah. This is dealing with when they were in Egypt and they was trying to get their brother, Benjamin. Yahushua had kept him. And this was all a part of the Most High plan. But we're going to see something here. It says, now therefore, let the king hear my words, and send, I pray, our brother, that he may go along with us to our father. They promised their father Yasharal that they would bring Benjamin back. And he was afraid that they wasn't going to bring him back. And here it is, Yahushua, their brother, is keeping them, and they didn't know who he was. He says, lest your soul perish this day. He was talking about killing him. He was talking about killing him with all the souls of the inhabitants of Egypt. So not only was he going to talking about killing Yahushua, which at the time he didn't know that was his brother, he was talking about killing all the inhabitants of Egypt because of Benjamin, because of one brother. Yes, Benjamin. You understand? One of Yasharal, one of us in trouble. You see the reactions just from one person? You talking about one. Yes, they were one at that time, and they knew it.